In the vast tapestry of human history, some figures emerge from the shadows, their stories echoing through millennia. They are not always heroes, they are not always villains, they are complex, caught between divine will and human desire. One such figure is a man named Baalam, son of Beor. He was a prophet, he was a seer, a man who could supposedly speak with God. But he was not from Israel. He did not belong to the people at the center of this story. He was an outsider, a foreigner from a distant place called Pethor, near the great Euphrates River in ancient Mesopotamia. This detail is important. It tells us the divine was not confined to one people. Our story now moves to a kingdom on the edge of panic. The king of Moab, a man named Balak, looked out from his palace and saw something that filled his heart with dread. A vast multitude of people, the Israelites, had set up their camp on his borders. A nation on the move, a people forged in the crucible of slavery, hardened by 40 years in the wilderness. Balak had heard the stories. He knew how they had miraculously escaped the mighty Egyptian army. He knew how they had defeated other powerful kings who stood in their way. They were, in his eyes, a force of nature, a swarm of locusts ready to devour everything in its path. Fear is a powerful motivator. King Balak was terrified. He was not just worried about a military invasion. When military might fails, where does a king turn? He turns to the spiritual realm, so he decided to fight them with words, with a curse, and for that, he needed the best. He needed a man whose words carried supernatural weight. He needed Baalam. So Balak devised a plan. He gathered the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian, forging an alliance born of shared terror. He prepared a handsome payment, the fees for divination, and sent his most respected princes on a long journey to Pethor. Their mission was simple: persuade Baalam to come to Moab and pronounce a curse upon the people of Israel. Balak's message to the prophet was filled with both flattery and desperation. A people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the land and have settled next to me. Now come and put a curse on these people, because they are too powerful for me. Perhaps then I will be able to defeat them and drive them away. The king's request reveals how people in the ancient world understood power. It was a form of long-range spiritual warfare. When the delegation of princes arrived at Baalam's home, they laid out King Balak's offer. The promise of riches and honor was tempting. Any man would be swayed by such a proposal from a powerful king. But Baalam was not just any man. He was a prophet. He knew he could not act on his own authority. So he told the princes, "Spend the night here, and I will bring you back the answer that the Lord gives me." That night, God came to Baalam with a clear and direct command. "Do not go with them," God said. "You must not put a curse on those people, because they are blessed." The divine will was unambiguous. There was no room for negotiation. In the morning, Baalam delivered the message to the princes.
"Go back to your own country, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you."
The princes returned with news of failure. But Balak sent another delegation, even more distinguished than the first, with an even greater offer. "Even if Balak gave me his palace filled with silver and gold, I could not do anything great or small to go beyond the command of the Lord my God. These are the words of a righteous man, they are noble and firm." But then, he adds something curious. "Stay here for the night as the others did, and I will find out what else the Lord has to tell me." Why would he ask again? God had already given him a clear and final answer. It seems that deep down, Baalam wanted to go. He hoped that maybe, just maybe, God had changed his mind. He was looking for a loophole, a way to reconcile God's command with his own desire for the king's rewards. That night, God came to Baalam again, but this time the message was different. God said, "Since these men have come to summon you, go with them, but do only what I tell you." On the surface, this seems like permission, but it was a test. God was allowing Baalam to follow the path his heart desired, to see where it would lead him. So Baalam got up the next morning, saddled his donkey, and set off with the princes of Moab. He was on his way. He was going to get his reward. But the Bible tells us that God was very angry when he went. Baalam had received permission, but he did not have approval. He was walking into a divine trap set to teach him a powerful lesson. As Baalam journeyed, an extraordinary event unfolded. The angel of the Lord stood in the road holding a drawn sword blocking the path, but Baalam, the great seer, the man who could speak with God, was blind to this heavenly messenger. His mind was likely clouded by thoughts of riches and fame. He could not see the spiritual reality right in front of him, but someone else could. His donkey. The humble beast of burden saw the angel and turned off the road into a field. Baalam, annoyed and oblivious, beat the donkey to force it back onto the road. The angel moved again. a narrow path between two vineyard walls. Again the donkey saw the angel and pressed against the wall, crushing Baalam's foot. The pain only increased Baalam's fury. He beat the animal again. Finally, in a place so narrow there was no room to turn left or right, the donkey lay down under Baalam. Burning with anger, he began beating the donkey with his staff, blind to the miracle unfolding all around him. It is at this moment, with Baalam enraged and the donkey lying on the ground, that the story takes its most famous and miraculous turn. The Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it spoke to Baalam. The first words ever spoken by an animal in the Bible were not a profound prophecy, but a simple logical question. What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?
Imagine the shock, the sheer impossibility of it. Yet Baalam, in his blind rage, answered the donkey as if it were the most normal thing in the world. You have made a fool of me. If I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now.
He was more concerned with his personal dignity and his schedule than with the life of his faithful animal or the bizarre miracle happening. His pride had blinded him to divine intervention. The donkey reasoned with him, "Am I not your own donkey, which you have always ridden to this day? Have I been in the habit of doing this to you?" The question appealed to their shared history, a call to stop, to think, and then the Lord opened Baalam's eyes. Suddenly, he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword. He bowed low and fell face down.
The angel delivered the rebuke. "Why have you beaten your donkey these 3 times? I've come here to oppose you because your path is a reckless one before me." God used a humble donkey to expose the prophet's spiritual blindness and save him from his own reckless ambition.
It was a profound and humbling lesson. After his humbling encounter on the road, Baalam finally arrived in Moab. He met with King Balak, eager to curse them. The king led Baalam to a high place, a sacred Baal site. From there, they could see part of the vast Israelite camp. Balak built 7 altars. A bull was sacrificed on each. A ram was sacrificed on each. The stage was set. The king waited expectantly for a crippling curse. Baalam went off alone to receive a word from the Lord. God gave him a message to deliver. It was not the message the king wanted.
It was not a curse. It was a magnificent blessing. How can I curse those whom God has not cursed? How can I denounce those whom the Lord has not denounced?
He spoke of Israel's unique status, their separation from other nations, their incredible numbers. He concluded, "Let me die the death of the righteous. May my final end be like theirs."
What have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies. You've blessed them.
Balak believed the problem was location. He took Balaam to Mount Pisgah. Again 7 altars, again sacrifices.
God is not a man, that he should lie, nor a son of man, that he should change his mind. There is no misfortune in Jacob, no misery in Israel. The Lord their God is with them.
Don't curse them and don't bless them.
Balak tried once more, to Mount Peor. For a 3rd time altars rose and sacrifices burned. This time Balaam stayed. He looked at the camp. The Spirit of God came upon him.
How beautiful are your tents, Jacob, your dwellings, Israel? He blessed them with prosperity, strength, victory.
Balak's anger exploded. He dismissed Balaam, sent him home with no pay. Balaam had tried to curse them, but God turned every word into a blessing. The story of Balaam is so compelling it did not remain confined to the pages of the Hebrew Bible. His character, a non-Israelite who nonetheless prophesied in the name of Israel's God, captured imaginations across faiths. In Jewish tradition, the view is largely negative, a powerful but wicked figure who, in the end, used his gifts for evil. The archetype of talent corrupted by sin. In the Christian New Testament, he is a cautionary tale, a symbol of corruption and false teaching, those who followed the way of Balaam, who loved the wages of wickedness. While not named in the Quran, many scholars link a passage in Surah Al-Araf to him, a man given signs who turned away, compared to a dog lolling its tongue. Most fascinating of all, the Deir Allah inscription, c. 800 BC, speaks of Balaam son of Beor, independent evidence of a remembered seer across the ancient Near East. A real historical memory, a man whose prophecies, for good or ill, were remembered beyond Israelite tradition. The story of Balaam, with all its strange twists and turns, is not just an ancient curiosity. It is a rich source of profound spiritual lessons that speak directly to the human condition. One lesson is the sovereignty of God. Balak thought he could manipulate spiritual forces to achieve political goals, but God's purpose cannot be thwarted by human schemes. His blessing on Israel was irrevocable, and no curse, skillfully prepared and handsomely paid for, could ever undo it. Another lesson is the conflict within Baalam. He knew the will of God, yet was tempted by earthly rewards. Greed clouded his spiritual vision, blinding him to the angel that even his donkey could see. The talking donkey offers a lesson in humility. God chose the lowliest of creatures to deliver correction. Wisdom and truth can come from unexpected sources. It cautions against arrogance and pride, teaching us to be open to correction, even from those we consider beneath us. Finally, the nature of blessing. Baalam was hired to curse, but blessings came out instead. God's intention to bless is stronger than any human intention to curse. If one is within the circle of divine favor, no external force or negative word has ultimate power to harm. God can turn any intended curse into an unexpected blessing. So why do we still tell this story, thousands of years after it was first written? What makes the tale of the foreign prophet and his talking donkey so enduring? It is because Baalam is, in many ways, our own story, a mirror of our complexities, between higher calling and baser instincts, between knowing what's right and the temptation to do what's profitable. Universal themes: fear of the unknown, the corrupting power of greed, the clash between divine will and human ambition, and the surprising ways truth is revealed. A prophet from Mesopotamia, a Moabite king, a simple donkey. A picture of a universal God, sovereign over all nations, who can use anyone to accomplish divine purposes. Ultimately, Baalam's story is a testament to hope. God's plans for good are stronger than plans for evil, turning curses into blessings, and that love and blessing will have the final word. That is a story worth telling, today and for all time.